As we gear up for the upcoming current gen update of Fallout 4, I couldn't resist crafting a character build centered on the Enclave Remnants content making its way into the game. Today we will be wearing the Hellfire power armor, wielding the devastating Tesla cannon, unleashing fiery chaos with the heavy incinerator, and wielding the divine Adam's Judgment from the Far Harbor DLC. I had so much fun playing with this build, and I hope you do too. Join me as we traverse the wasteland with this powerhouse setup. Let's get started. For this build, the playstyle revolves around utilizing melee weapons and the Pain Train perk to conserve ammo, while using the Tesla cannon for distant enemies and changing to the heavy incinerator for mobs of enemies. Before you leave the vault, allocate your special points with 10 in strength, 1 in perception, 4 in endurance, 1 in charisma, 10 in intelligence, 1 in agility, and 1 in luck. Once you retrieve the special book from your old house, invest an additional perk into luck. That way you can acquire the Scrounger perk early on. In the early stages of your journey, pick up a full set of power armor. You can acquire a T-45 from the Minutemen or scavenge parts from various locations across the wasteland. The outfit underneath does not matter, so feel free to wear whatever suits your role-playing preferences. Refer to the linked map in the description to locate several fusion cores to sustain your power needs. As of now, before the update, acquiring the Hellfire power armor requires confronting a high-level enemy, so I would wait until around level 10. Any melee weapon will work with this build in the beginning, though I personally used the super sledge that I bought from Arturo Rodriguez in Diamond City. Note that obtaining the Tesla cannon and heavy incinerator at lower levels can be challenging. However, you can find a flamer between the containment spheres at the irradiated nuclear power station near County Crossing. You can also use the laser rifle given to you by Dance after completing the initial Brotherhood of Steel quest line for a while as well. Finish the quest getting a clue to obtain a quest marker guiding you to Far Harbor, where you can acquire Adam's Judgment, the awesome sledgehammer featured in this video. I personally found the hammer's damage good enough without investing in the blacksmith perk, but you may want to add those later so you can put mods on the weapon. While leveling up, my perk selection followed the order displayed on the screen, though feel free to adjust them as needed. Nuclear Physicist significantly extends the lifespan of fusion cores, while Big Leagues increases the damage of melee weapons. Pain Train inflicts damage and staggers foes upon impact while sprinting in power armor, which is very fun, might I add. Hacker grants proficiency in terminal hacking, while Armorer and Science enables power armor upgrades. Heavy Gunner bolsters the effectiveness of heavy weaponry, while Rooted enhances melee damage, and Solar Powered boosts strength and endurance during daylight hours. Getting the solar powered perk requires obtaining the endurance bobblehead located at Poseidon Energy, an area full of high level enemies, so that's why my decision was to get it around level 42 and not earlier. Gun Nut 2 and Armorer 1 are necessary for upgrading the heavy incinerator, whereas Science 4 and Gun Nut 2 are required for enhancing the Tesla cannon. Upgrading the power armor needs Armorer 4 and Science 4. In the beginning, you can upgrade your power armor however you want, but for the Hellfire armor, I opted for the explosive vent mod on the legs to widen the impact damage radius upon landing, and optimized servos to decrease action points used while sprinting. I augmented the helmet with an internal database mod to increase intelligence, which gives more XP gain for faster leveling. In later stages, I installed the targeting HUD to highlight living targets. As for the torso, I couldn't resist the temptation of a jetpack. I mean, come on, it's a jetpack. I didn't put any mods on the arms until after level 50, and I coated the power armor with titanium paint for increased durability. This build utilizes the hacker perks, so I decided to use Kate as a follower. She can be commanded to open any lock of any difficulty from novice to master, and only requires having a reasonable supply of bobby pins in her inventory. With your knowledge of hacking and her expertise of lockpicking, you won't feel like you're missing out on any loot. Also, she is just a great follower in general. Make sure to put plenty of chems in her inventory so she will be in a much better mood, and she will be better in a fight as well. You can give her whatever weapon you want, but I like giving her the Furious Power Fist from Swan's Pond, gearing her up with some beefy armor, and watching her beat down everyone. Chems and Consumables can improve your damage tremendously. Keep in mind that you can get addicted to chems and alcohol in Fallout 4, and with this build, I didn't use any perks to stop that from happening. You can, however, use Addictol or Rad Scorpion Egg omelets to mitigate addictions instead. There are a few things that you can stack together to get more strength. For each point in strength, you get plus 10% melee damage. What I was doing was taking Psycho Buff and Buff Tats. I would then wash it down with a Dirty Wastelander. That would boost my strength by 9 points, which is 90% more melee damage. I would then take Fury, which would boost melee damage by another 50%. On top of that, if I had an XL, that would boost my strength another 2 points. Altogether, this would take the damage of Adam's Judgment from 276 to 787. I was taking down a behemoth in 2 hits, no problem, and Kate was loving it. This character was designed to play through the content any way you want. You can start off with the Minutemen, then the Brotherhood of Steel, and so on like a normal playthrough, or you can skip them both and go straight to Far Harbor or Nuka World. Getting Adam's Judgment will probably be the easiest weapon to get early on. You can just walk to the Nakado residence to force the quest to get to Far Harbor right away. The Heavy Incinerator and the Tesla Cannon shouldn't be too hard to get around level 10, just like the Hellfire Power Armor. More than likely, with this playstyle, you will have to turn the difficulty up around level 15 just because everything will get way too easy. I think on my next playthrough, I will go through the Far Harbor DLC first, then go straight to Nuka World and start taking over the Commonwealth with the Raiders. I'm gonna be like, kid? What kid? I am so glad that the Fallout show has brought new people to the Fallout universe, and it's also bringing old fans back. I really never left just because of how much of a nerd I am with anything Fallout. I hope this build brings you joy like it did for me. Let me know down in the comments what kind of playstyle do you use when playing Fallout 4. I have to give a shout out to the channel's member, Bud Emmer. You are awesome, Bud. If you want to see more Fallout stuff, then check out the video here. It was great to have you here, but I have to go now. I'm Joey Keith, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you later.